Who is Venus in Aries compatible with? Every planet has zodiac signs that they are more and less comfortable in. For the planet Venus, which is associated with things one values like love and money, the sign of Aries is not its favorite place to be. Venus in Aries is therefore referred to as Venus in detriment. If Venus was in Aries on the day you were born though, you just have to find someone who appreciates your unique style. If you have Venus in Aries, your best compatibility matches are partners who have Venus in Gemini or Venus in Aquarius. Looking at the characteristics of the sign of Aries reveals additional possibilities. Let's talk about the Aries basics. Remember that each zodiac sign is associated with a season, a mode, is it in the beginning, middle, or end of a season, and an element. Each zodiac sign is also ruled by at least one planet or luminary. The Aries season is spring. Aries mode is cardinal and the first sign of its season. Fire is the element of Aries. And the planet that rules Aries is Mars. Since we are done with the Aries basics, let's now talk about the basics of Venus. Venus stays within two signs of the Sun in terms of relative position to Earth. That means people who have Venus in Aries can have the Sun in only the following signs: Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, or Gemini. Now let's talk about the first best match for Venus in Aries with partners Venus in Gemini or Aquarius. Gemini and Aquarius are the air signs closest to fire sign Aries. The four elements, fire, earth, air, and water, typically break down into two groups of two, fire and air, and earth and water. Older astrology texts often refer to fire and air signs as masculine and water and earth signs as feminine. In today's world where people of all genders are able to express a broader variety of roles and traits, perhaps a better way to understand the difference between the two groups of signs is to look at their focus. Water and earth signs tend to be interested in security and in maintaining the structure that exists. This can include the domestic stay-at-home parent, but it can also include the sort of person who looks for a job that is stable and guaranteed. No matter what happens in the world, industries like education, healthcare, food, and banking aren't going anywhere. Those lines of work are therefore full of earth and water sign people of all genders. Fire and air signs are interested in innovating and exploring. Even if they are found in stable industries, they find the wilder parts of those industries. While an earth or water sign person might be happy with a financial job that involves managing conservative investments for retired people, a fire or air sign person might get curious about the riskier side of the financial industry like options trading. Similarly, the fire or air sign worker in the healthcare industry might gravitate toward experimental therapies. As in the theory underlying Chinese medicine, there's yang within the yin. The theory of yin and yang, as described by the traditional Chinese Medicine World Foundation, works well for understanding the difference between the fire and air signs and the earth and water signs. Yang is the outwardly focused energy of fire and air signs, and yin is the inwardly focused energy of earth and water signs. Fire signs and air signs are not quite identical though, so there is enough variety to keep the relationship exciting.
The main difference is that air signs are dreamers and fire signs are doers.
Venus in Gemini comes up with many ideas, but Venus in Aries gets bored with sitting around talking and wants to do something. This push toward action that Venus in Aries gives is good for Venus in Gemini. Finally, taking an idea concrete could inspire more ideas, and then the cycle would begin again. Venus in Gemini is also more social than Venus in Aries might be, and Venus in Aries benefits from this nudge to remain connected to others. While Venus in Gemini tends to come up with a lot of little ideas, Venus in Aquarius would be more likely to come up with fewer ideas that are so big that figuring out where to begin executing them would be hard for anyone other than Venus in Aries, who just starts doing stuff. Venus in Aquarius wouldn't really go off the rails with Venus in Aries around though, because Venus in Aries would be putting down brand new tracks to somewhere crazy faster than Venus in Aquarius could travel them. Venus in Aquarius and Venus in Aries would have a lot of fun together, though everyone else around them might be terrified. Before we proceed with our best matches, please don't forget to hit the like button. Let's talk about the second best match, and that is Venus in Aries with partners Venus in fire signs. The three fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Fire signs tend to go out and make things happen.
Venus in Aries and Venus in Sagittarius have in common that they are both athletic. In Venus terms, they value their physical bodies. These two would enjoy sports or outdoor activities together. The physical side of their love life would be strong too. With Venus in Aries being impulsive and Venus in Sagittarius being blunt, there would rarely be a quiet moment. For Venus in Leo, the impulsiveness of a Venus in Aries partner could at times be jarring. Venus in Leo prefers that activity happen at a somewhat slower pace than Venus in Aries does, but ultimately Venus in Leo prefers the excesses of Venus in Aries over the excesses of a partner with Venus in earth or water signs who never wants to do anything exciting at all. Venus in Leo could perhaps over time convince Venus in Aries to slow down a little and develop some of their brainstorms further. Two Venus in Aries people together would either love or hate the experience. No one would be telling them to slow down and be more practical, so they could get in more trouble faster. Having a partner just as individualistic and independent as they were might be a jarring experience. Let's now move on to the third best match, and that is Venus in Aries with partners Venus in other cardinal signs. All four of the cardinal signs mark the beginning of seasons.
Fire sign Aries begins spring, water sign Cancer begins summer, air sign Libra begins fall, and earth sign Capricorn begins winter. Venus in any of these signs tends to express its element intensely.
Venus in Aries is the opposite of Venus in Libra, and Venus in Aries has a direct approach that is the opposite of Venus in Libra's subtlety. Venus in Libra might not like getting called out for trying to hide behind hints, but Venus in Libra probably needs it. Venus in Aries values individual freedom regardless of who gets hurt. As a result, Venus in Aries can be abrasive, which would trigger Venus in Cancer's sensitivity incessantly. Even Venus in Capricorn will be shocked by the frenetic pace of activity found in Venus in Aries and will secretly respect that Venus in Aries is at least not lazy. Venus in Aries, however, values the freedom to take off on a new path at a moment's notice, throwing caution to the wind. This would drive Venus in Capricorn insane. Since we are done with the three best matches, let's talk about the rest of the signs. The signs that have not been covered yet are Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Taurus and Virgo are earth signs, and Scorpio and Pisces are water signs. Taurus and Pisces are the signs on either side of Aries. As noted previously, Venus can be no more than 2 signs apart from the Sun. There are therefore many Venus in Aries people with the Sun in Taurus or Pisces. There are also many people with Venus in Taurus or Pisces who have the Sun in Aries. If at least one of these situations applies to a couple where one has Venus in Aries and the other has Venus in Taurus or Pisces, incompatibility is not a huge concern. Venus in Aries tends to be emotionally awkward and therefore not good at relating to the emotional intensity of Venus in Pisces. For Venus in Aries, the cause of the awkwardness is a short attention span, so Venus in Aries would at least flit away from an uncomfortable situation quickly. Venus in Aries and Venus in Taurus at least have in common that they both value feeling good and enjoying their physical bodies. Venus in Taurus prefers to sit still and relax in one place for a while though. A pairing that would be interesting to watch is Venus in Scorpio with Venus in Aries. Both have Venus in detriment, which means that matters of love and money and values tend to be full of trade-offs.
Both also have Venus in a sign ruled by Mars.
These two would be able to scheme together to come up with a unique relationship that suited each person's needs as well as possible. An especially interesting option for this pair would be Sun in Libra or Venus in Scorpio and Sun in Taurus or Venus in Aries, where each person's Sun would oppose the other person's Venus, and each person would have the Sun in a Venus-ruled sign. Venus in Virgo is in fall, as it is the opposite of Pisces where Venus is exalted. What Venus in Aries therefore has in common with Venus in Virgo is that their way of expressing love does not fit common romantic stereotypes. Like the situation between Venus in Aries and Venus in Scorpio, outsiders can bond strongly with other outsiders. Venus in Aries would still have impulsive tendencies that would drive the predictability craving Venus in Virgo crazy though. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more of our content, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with everyone who needs it. Thanks for watching.